All right, we're going. So with the last session, you guys fought Lorgoth the Decayer. The house began to crumble in on itself once you defeated it. You managed to escape through the house through, basically raising through various rooms. And as you cut out into the courtyard, you heard a soft voice pleading for help from the balcony above, followed by the heavy thud of a small child against the ground. When you look back, it would have been obvious that Rose would have tossed Thorn over the balcony. And when Thorn hit the ground, the chasm just kind of jutted out from the house, and it began to swallow everything around you, almost as fast as you could run, or in this instance, faster than the slowest person, in which we lost one of our own, Caspian Garnier. Awaiting outside of the gate for you was a dark caravan pulled by large black Clydesdales. There was a dusk elf wearing very fine clothes and a tabard emblazoned with a blood raven of Count Strahd. He gave Irina specific, or vaguely specific, terms, in that she has enough camping gear to be more than comfortable. She has a tent, a cot, there's plenty of soaps and some extra food and blankets and everything that she would need to travel and be as well taken care of as her count would allow her to be. On top of that, for your work in at least trying to dispel the curse that holds this house, the Count has given you each some food rations and a couple bottles of wine as a thank you. There was some banter back and forth between Rahadin and the party. And when speaking to Irina cryptically, he asked if the Count knew of their impending arrival, meaning that they will be expected to arrive at the castle within the next few days. And with that, he just kind of got into his caravan and took off after he had presented something underneath a black crushed velvet cloth to Irina, as he's done, or as people have done once or twice now in the campaign. But there was another person that got something, and that person was Trevok. The party, beaten, exhausted, and injured, opted to just move across the road some considerable distance and set up a campsite with a relatively large fire and places to sleep for everyone. And then, of course, you all got your own individual storylines as to what kind of happened to you for the rest of that day. To clarify things, when you all wake up, it's sometime in the middle of the night. You're not really sure as to when, but it's definitely not daytime. So with that, we'll get started unless anyone has any questions.
Yeah, you missed the most important part where Rose chunked Thorn into a hole.
Oh no, I mentioned that.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Yeah, that was in there.
I was just relishing in it.
Yeah, she didn't chunk him in the hole. She threw him. He hit the ground. There was a nice thud. And then the ground opened up and essentially swallowed him as it tried to swallow the rest of you. So, okay.
So we're waking up and it's not night?
It is night.
It is night, I mean?
Yeah.
So we slept through like the entire day.
Yeah, and mind you, not all of you are awake currently. As a matter of fact, the only one that is awake is Elion, as he's on watch duty.
Oh, okay.
Let's see
The question
here.
is, this is sorry, not
Mhm.
too technical here.
Yeah.
We have the long rest already, or
Yes. No. So, for clarification, you would have slept earlier in the day
okay.
and then taken over watch. So Valkithra was the first one to take watch, and then you ended up taking over. I won't spoil it. There was some things in your story that she said to you that were also in your assault, so there's no missing information.
Yeah.
But basically, she was just like, I've heard too many things tonight. I'm going to sleep.
Yeah, she mentioned hearing too much stuff to stay focused and one.
Yeah.
Sometimes
So,
I fuck myself.
all right. Elion is perched beneath the oak tree in quiet contemplation. Irina is the first to wake with a loud groan. The cold dew rests on the party's faces like a wet rag. Cold and wretched wind blows over the countryside. The fire is burned down to a small broil. The bed of embers still emanates a heavy wind of warmth. There's no indication of time, though it has certainly been dark for some time. In the distance, the trudging of dead down the road makes its way back to the Barovian graveyard. The yipping of wolves could be heard in the distance. Irina and Elion, I need you both to give me perception checks.
You got it. Eventually. There it is.
Perception.
That's a 14 from Elion.
Okay.
16.
Okay.
Nice.
You both see a band of emaciated wolves tearing a corpse limb from limb, rushing into the wooded tree line to the far side of the manor fence. Crying in the distance can be heard. It gathers Irina's attention. Above the knee-high grass, nearly a stone's throw away as the slow sway, a stranger effeminate and saunter. Her hair is long and in pigtails with several ties down each side. What do you do?
Elion kind of wipes the
First,
dew off
do
his
these
face.
wolves look like normal size, or are they bigger, or?
There's a woman that's sauntering through the grass, probably about 10 feet from you.
Well, so I don't actually see the wolves, I just hear them.
Oh yeah, no, you can see the wolves. They're back. They're probably, I'd say, probably about 100 feet away from you.
Okay, I just was curious of the size, if they look like a normal size wolf.
They're pretty large, but you can tell kind of from glimpses of them, like they look skinny.
Okay.
And then, like I said, of course, you hear some crying kind of gathers your attention, and you turn to see it says above the knee-high grass, nearly a stone's throw away, is a slow sway, a strange effeminate saunter. Her hair in long pigtails with several ties down each side. And she's crying as she's kind of walking past your camp spot. So do you want to just duck down and hope she walks past? Do you want to try and get up and talk to her? Do you want to just say fuck a bunch of this and draw swords and fight? Like, what's the deal?
I'm probably going to lean in and just kind of whisper, should we say something to her? Should we wake the others?
Yeah.
What do you think?
He's quite a bit away. He's probably about 30 feet from you right now.
Next thing? Okay.
Yeah, I'm at like a tree kind of a ways from camp.
Okay. Is she closer to me or him?
She's closer to you. You're with the rest of the party near the fire.
I also seen her though, right? So I'm looking at your direction.
Yeah.
I'm going to start just kind of tapping everybody that's near me and kind
Okay.
of just point to her just to kind of
Okay.
make them alert.
And you're one to kind of stay low while you're doing this.
Yes.
Give
Kind of
me
keep an eye on her, but kind of like side tap, like.
give me a stealth check or a sleight of hand.
So, like to try to stealth by this tree. kind of just peer on the other side.
Yeah, you're far enough. You don't even need to roll, as long as you stay
I
low.
would imagine I have my hammer out because I'm on watch.
Okay.
That's a 5.
Ooh, you rolled a 5.
You trip over your sleeping bag.
Oh, rip, dude. Yeah, let's see. All right, call it high or low.
Fire
High or low.
rolling around.
High or low, Kaylee. You got to call it high or low.
What?
High or low.
I. I.
She stops for a moment and offers you a loud yet pathetic sniffle. And you can feel her gaze kind of wash over you. Off to the left, then back to the right. And you poke your head up just enough to see her continue on down the grassy field. All right. So you're going to wake everybody up?
That's. Yeah.
Okay. So everyone else is now awake. You're wet to an extent. You're cold, but not to the point where if you stayed here at any point in time, like you have more of a chill and less of a shiver, if that makes any sense. Like you're not in any danger of hypothermia currently, not with the fire going still, at least. But there are several things. Well, you know what? Fuck that. Give me a second. Kaylee, they're awake and they're not sure what's going on. Feel free to update them as to what you've seen.
I would like to continue watching.
There was a girl that just passed by. She was crying. Looked very tormented. She headed that direction. She definitely saw me. Didn't do anything but look through me. She definitely seemed not to right.
Yeah, I continued watching her. She actually fucked off, right? She didn't loop around.
Yeah. No. She's so to describe her path and her gait. Give me a second. I'm gonna mute them really quick because that static is fucking me. To describe her gait and her pathway, if she had feet, or at least feet that were touching the ground, there would be a worn trail. It seems like whatever direction she's going, she does so kind of laissez-faire in a way that she's walked that path several times before. Unmute. All right, so I'm assuming everybody's awake then, and we're just kind of chilling by the embers, trying to stay warm and out of sight? Or are we fucking off and getting out of here?
Elion stays on
Did
watch.
she look like she was of the living, or is she a tormented spirit? What did y'all notice?
So, give me a second. I can hear Owen down there laughing. Oh, rip, dude.
Also, my alchemy didn't save again.
Oh,
So if you'll see, I'm back down to 7 HP, and none of my stuff is there.
None of your other stuff saved?
Doesn't
There's
look
a
like
little
it.
check mark in the bottom,
Yeah.
like when you go to exit the sheet.
No, I've done that.
Oh, that's
It's
strange.
actually the top left where you unlock and lock your character.
What do you mean? What?
I get a
Click on the
little
picture.
lock in the top left.
Well, yeah, that's how you go to edit it. I'm talking
Yeah,
about
Yeah.
so
if
you click
edit it,
portrait
just-
and then you click the top left to edit, and then I make all my changes in like trackers and features,
Yeah.
and then I hit the white check mark in the bottom, and
Yeah.
it'll save. But then
Oh,
after like,
yeah.
because this was
Mhm.
happening last session too,
Oh,
where
yeah.
it kept redoing my HP. I don't know when it would occur, but like every 10 minutes or so, it was like my HP would change back to what it was because I had to keep redoing my damage.
Were you able to get your Tailspire rolling?
No.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let's just keep moving. As I said, the majority,
Tailspire through Steam, but it's
Well,
not starting through.
the majority of everything is Theater of the Mind tonight, so we're good. In the event that we don't have combat, but all right, Kaylee, go ahead and pick it up. I just sent you a description of what it was you saw.
The woman seems, kind of not really touching the ground, like walking like you and me. She looked very old and worn, like old, like grandma, with wrinkles and stuff. But she seems like alive, but like not a ghost. But she definitely wasn't walking on the ground.
We are too close to this damned house. The spirits, they're very active here. We should move on.
Right now, it's so late though. Wouldn't it be better to wait until morning?
Probably.
Okay, so you guys want to wait till morning?
Put it to a vote.
Are they talking
There
loud
were
enough
wolves
that
in
Elion could
the
have
other
heard?
direction.
Probably not, but you would be able to see that they're kind of stirring if you wanted to try and kind of make your way across.
Yeah, I would just kind of do like a little bit of a backpedal, keeping an eye on the perimeter, but moving in.
Mm-hmm.
Vocal ranges that aren't yelling.
Yeah, gotcha.
Hey everyone. Things are pretty good out here. There's a fucking lady. That was strange. You see that lady, Irina?
I did. I was just telling them about her. That she just didn't seem right because she
Yeah.
wasn't like a normal spirit I've seen, but she definitely wasn't touching the ground, which is odd.
She definitely fucked off, I can tell you that. But also,
Yeah. She stopped and stared for a while, but I didn't mess with her. She did not mess with me. But did you also hear the wolves in the other direction?
yes, I did. I was going to say, yes. Wolves not even 100 feet from here, so we should stay on alert. I'm gonna go back to post pretty soon. I just wanted everyone to know that things are good, but there are wolves in the area.
We probably
Yeah.
should definitely do 2 at a time, looking out while we rest.
Double the watch.
Yeah, double the watch. Better than 1, especially with multiple things that we just saw.
Right. Kithra, is she awake?
Mhm.
You were hearing voices? Or were it wolves? You mentioned before we switched watches.
Not really sure. It could have been maybe the house still murmuring or settling or something similar.
I think these grounds are fucking haunted.
I do agree with you.
Anyways, I'll continue my watch. If we want to double up, that's perfectly okay. We can stay together, or we can split the view. You know, maybe go by the tree over there, and someone goes by that over there. You know. Either way,
I don't mind.
I best get at it. Now Yanni is gonna turn back and head towards the tree is at for watch. The watch tree.
Okay, so we're chilling. We're gonna just double up on watch.
believe so.
I did want to say while you were all awake, I know that you're all new to Barovia, and I am sorry for the loss of your friend. He was very brave.
Ilion kind of turned back as he's walking out and go, "That was the ultimate sacrifice he made. It'll never be forgotten, and we should honor his death by seemingly seeking life. One day at a time, my friends."
That was way more inspirational than I would have expected from Elion for sure. I was waiting for you to be like, his life was a great sacrifice, but he wasn't our friend.
That guy. No, Elion's a live cleric. Someone dying's like the fucking most
Yeah.
beheaving thing to put upon him. It
Yeah,
should never
gotcha.
happen on his fucking watch.
He just said
Yet
in the
it
back of his
did.
mind, he's like, if it wasn't the hole, it would have been me.
Yeah, no, in that case, it was it's kind of 50-50. All right, yeah, sure, dog. I could have saved that motherfucker, but the ground kind of just ate him, you know? Like, a little hard to save someone that's gone.
In
Treyvok,
there with Thorn now.
high or low, dude?
Low.
So Treyvok,
Oh.
high or low?
Greyvok. Damn it. I'm going high, motherfucker.
Oh. Treyvok, slow to wake from his slumber, stirs with panic at their voices. He sits up immediately and he's like, "Oi, what the fuck? What are you doing?"
What the fuck? Oi, crikey! Sorry, wrong accent. Back.
Calm down, Treyvok. You're with good company.
The loud groan of the March of the Dead down the road can be heard spice up. They all start walking towards you. What do you do?
Before this happens, when we were talking about the death, is there a tree near us where we were sleeping?
It's probably about 30-ish feet away. Yeah, it's about halfway between you and the road.
And this march is further than us, right?
Say what one more time?
No, sorry, I didn't mean that, right?
You're good? No, what was the question?
I was making sure this march wasn't like right in front of us or anything, right?
So it's about 30 feet from you and somewhere between 50 and 60 feet from the party. You're kind of in the halfway spot.
Wait, how the fuck did... God damn it, alright.
I just was gonna have Irina kind of bend over, take out her holy symbol, and kind of do just kind of a funeral thing that they're known for in Barovia as a respect for the death, and just kind of.
Okay. So you're gonna do kind of a like a blessing of the fallen ritual, sort of, just some kind of.
Just kind of, but to myself. I'm not making it out. It's more of a just.
Okay.
Getting out on my knees and just kind of doing it.
Elion.
We're quiet, but they would definitely notice me doing something.
Elion, tell me what you're doing right now.
So who went on second? Like, who came on watch with me? Sorry.
Did
anyone? Did we get that far? Are we still walking from the camp?
You're at the tree, but you posed going on second watch, and I don't think Valkithra went with you. Salt, did you go with him, or are you with the party?
I didn't even know he was asking me. I thought he was just in general. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I thought someone was going on second watch. It doesn't matter for me.
Yeah.
Elion was going regardless, but I thought we were doubling up the watch. I mean,
Because I think they were doubling the watch at the campfire. So there's one person watching while everyone is setting back up, and then you're there.
yeah.
So what are you doing?
Yeah. So, how many people are in this?
It's as far as I can see down the road, in rows of 2, from left to right in front of you. I mean, it's probably, you can see probably a quarter mile, and there's undead dudes all the way there. There's probably about, I'd say 50 of them that are alerted to Trevok and have broken the ranks.
Oh, so they're not just like marching, but they're like heading towards our direction.
Yeah, they're riled up and making their way.
And they look aggressive,
Trevok
I do
kinda
assume.
Yeah.
freaked out.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. They haven't noticed me, or can I?
Not currently, no. They haven't recognized you.
All right. I'm gonna try to stealth back to the party.
Okay. Are you looking at the party at all? Like before you go to do that, like if you check back to see like would Trevok kind of caught your attention also?
Yeah, especially if Trevok would have yelled, I would have looked at him and then looked back, I guess, and seen this like army get, show up.
All right, give me a perception check.
Oh man, that was a 6. Natural.
Total? Oh.
Yes.
Okay, so you look back and you kind of can't tell what it is Irina's doing, but you can see in the soft glow of the embers, you can see that she's moving and doing something. It kind of looks like she's digging at the earth, like she's trying to make a little trench or something.
This is no time to dig in. We got to run.
Okay, so
back to the party.
Okay, I need a stealth roll with advantage because you're in like knee-high grass.
Sweet.
And it's nighttime.
That is a 15.
Okay, excellent. So you managed to just kind of you kneel down to the point where your back is almost even with the grass and your arms are straight out wide, and you just run as fast as you possibly can while your body's in such a small contained shape. And you make your way back, and as you get closer you recognize not necessarily what burial rite she's doing, but she's definitely doing some form of burial rites. What do you want to do?
There's a fucking army of undead coming here. Is this normal? And they are pissed. They are pissed.
They are pissed.
To be fair, I did not see the army of the dead. I was giving respects to Caspian for his sacrifice.
Well, we may need to give respects to our fucking feet on the road and run. And I point as
I
assume
agree
you
with
can see.
Elion.
Finishing when you popped up.
I know, I understand. I'm not angry at you. I'm alerting you. There's a fucking army over there. There's
And
like
we're
100
good. I
of them.
finished my
As you are all conversing, they're continuing to shamble. They're probably about 15 feet away. It's to the point now where you can't see them. You can see their silhouettes in the light of the fire as they approach. Strangely, though, as they get closer to you, they seem to pay no mind that you're there.
Uh-oh.
What do you guys wish to do?
Stay stealth.
We hide and see.
Okay, so everyone's just gonna lay down then.
Yes.
Okay.
Fuck it, I guess so.
If they're not being hostile at this exact moment, then yes. There's.
Okay. They huff and snarl as they get closer. They even begin to stamp their way into the grass opening of where your camp is. And they stop, their head kind of tilted and their bodies twitching. And you hear them just... And slowly, one by one, they turn around. And they aim their trajectory back to where they once stood in the marsh. And they all walk off. Slowly. Huh? I was doing zombie noises.
Okay, just making sure that was what you did. Okay.
They slowly walk off and rejoin the line. After what feels like an eternity, you see the final two of the march make their way past you. And no sooner do they disappear. Give me a second. Do you see the sun rise in a pale orange glow? The mists are painted in a cacophony of orange hues. A stale, warm huff of wind blows from the coals, blowing ash onto Ismark's bedroll. What does the party do?
Elion's kind of picking himself up off the ground from laying there and just falls onto the fucking his stomach, exhausted, and at this point just fucking deranged. I don't understand these lands. Nothing makes fucking sense here. What was that? Were they angry at us? Were they gonna kill us?
I do not have the answers you seek about that question.
I think we just be counting our blessings, lads.
I don't know. We should pack camp and leave as soon as sun is rose.
I agree with you, but which direction do we go?
I think this is perhaps a lesson that it is not safe for us to camp at night. Though they did not take interest in us today, we may not be so lucky in the future.
As for direction,
Were we going towards the that camp or whatever before we stopped at the house?
yep.
Sorry. And I was also gonna ask, what time was it again? Like late night, early night?
It's like, so the sun is rising. So you saw the last two of the march fade off. And then, and I'll read it again. It says, the sun rises in a pale orange glow. The mists are painted in a cacophony of orange hues, and a stale warm huff of wind blows across the coals, blowing ash onto Ismark's bedroll.
Gotcha.
Well, I think we're all thinking the same thing. Let's get our things and just get the hell out of here. Where? What direction? I don't know. We'll figure that out in a second.
So as the, looking back at the hole where the house once stood, there's a road that you were traveling on that travels from east to west. Obviously, all of the army of undead were going back to the east.
And we'll be going the opposite direction, yes?
I think that's wise. And what was that fucking carriage dude talking about earlier yesterday about an invitation and expecting us? I thought we were, I mean, no, not to be the icebreaker here. I thought we were trying to avoid him.
I have more questions about that myself. You are all new to Barovia, yes?
Yes.
But he recognized you, Trevok, yes?
He was the one that brought us into town, brought us here, right?
No. Rahadan you haven't met before. Not currently.
You have met Rahadin?
Oh. Then Trevok's like, no, and was like throwing his hands up like squatty shoulder shrug.
The dwarf just thinks that we all look alike. That's all.
You do all look alike. Your pointy ears.
Finally, we get a hint of racism out of Treyarch.
Right?
His whole fucking, his whole backstory, his whole session 00 was him getting shit on by elves. And now he finally gets something.
What I've been through just to get here. You put me in a box.
Okay, so if I remember correctly, I believe Ismark had a crudely drawn map that was taken from his house, was it not?
Yep. Yeah, we got some rough directions from Barudramir as well.
Yeah. Do you remember those rough directions?
Oh yeah, I think we take a ride at the fork, right?
Hey, my man. All right.
And we are going to visit Vistani. Is that correct?
That was
Yes,
the
I suppose
original
we
plan.
could.
Have you all how much experience have you with the Vistani?
They the ones that took all our stuff.
That is correct. Yes.
Yeah, I'm pretty fucking sure they robbed us.
That
bastard.
sounds like that is quite possible. They are not someone that you want to make an enemy of, to be sure. But you should not. You should guard your coin purses when around them. Yes. Not consider them your friends. Be overly trusting. That is a good word, Irene. Yes. Just be alert.
So
Right.
then Treyarch would just be giving off like the dwarven facial expression for "Do we have to?" Like, do we have to? Do we have
Elion
to go to the
actually
Vistani?
he pats his pockets and goes, "Good thing I don't have anything to fucking lose. This will be fine."
Sonny have a lot of control over this land.
Yes. We have Rahadan. He gave us wine. Yes. Is that correct? He gave us some wine, and like rations.
Yeah.
Perhaps a bottle or two could make for good peace offering, housewarming gift, as it were.
Mayhaps. Maybe it might even just be a good place to camp for a night. I don't know.
Perhaps safer than next to haunted house and marching dead and wolves eating.
Right, exactly. That's,
Yeah.
thieving bastards may be safer than haunted woods and wolves.
Pickpockets are better than cutthroats. Yes.
Exactly. Maybe we could even stash some things before we go, you know? If anyone does have things of value, I have my hammer, but that won't be leaving my side, so... If anyone has some gold coin they would like to stash, maybe we dig a little pile and hide it.
Yeah.
Can't steal your shit if it's not there.
This is good. This is a good point. At least a reserve. would be
Right,
that,
yeah,
yes.
maybe not everything. That might be a little too suspicious if we're bare bones, but... Just if anyone has something they would really particularly not like to lose while
To be
sleeping.
fair, the ground just swallowed the whole house. You trust the ground to not swallow your gold?
I mean, I don't trust those fucking drugging bastards either, but they seem to be our
We have
best hope at the
also-
moment.
We have also stepped off into the mist twice now and have awoken or been in another place and do not recall anything of our trip. So it is possible that we could end up with the Vistani and not come back to where we bury our belongings.
That is true.
Galaxy brain over here, man. Jeez Louise.
I mean, I have nothing to lose. It was only a mere suggestion for
Well,
those
perhaps we
things of
will
value.
simply watch each. Perhaps we'll simply watch each other's back a little more closely. Yes.
I may very well
Murvok
be.
would kind of bear hug his backpack protectively. Ain't no one taking my stuff anymore.
All right, so are we getting up and making our way downtown, walking fast, faces past, and we're homebound?
Making our way down.
I agree.
Walking fast.
I'm so proud of you. That's great.
I love it.
All right. So, and I'm assuming we're going to the west, the opposite way that the zombies were going.
Well, we're going to the camp.
Yeah,
right?
so there's
And
the
that's
west and
where
then the
directions
north.
would be.
We saw a map at some point.
Alrighty.
East would be back home the way we come. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so. So now
Headed away.
Now is the cool part where I get to pull you guys to the super sweet fucking campaign map that I have to find. Here we go.
That
Yeah,
I
we
can
saw
see.
this once before.
Yeah.
Very sweet. It's actually like my favorite thing in Telspire so far.
Give me a second.
Sorry,
I
I
just-
missed it.
I can stream it for you.
Yeah, do that for favor.
Hey. Yeah.
Check it out.
Oh, damn.
Yay! Thank you.
No problem, bro.
Alrighty, you ready? This next part's going to be a lot of me reading.
So we camped here, so I assume this is the Vistani camp.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right. The party makes their way across a dark and gloomy road. After a short while, the tree line opens up to a series of flat fields covered in debris of old plants. Scarecrows lashed tightly to thin planks of wood litter the open countryside. The howling open wind moves their limbs lightly as they blow past. The breeze is harsh and frigid as it blows past you. I need everyone to give me a perception check.
Natural one.
15.
Okay,
3.
excellent.
Look, can you add us on
17.
Natural one.
17.
Excellent. This is enough for everyone to, I guess, notice as a party we succeed. You peer across the field and notice that while the scarecrows don't look at you directly, you notice that they have moved slightly since you last looked. They now position themselves to be facing mostly in your direction, a stark reminder of your unwelcome presence. After some time moving down the Svalich road, leaves blow at the wind at your feet. Like clawing limbs, vines break out of the forest's edge, gripping and pulling the trees across grassy hills as knolls turn to stark gradients of earth. Laboring, the 6 of you trudge forward. A small rumble of thunder rolls in the air behind you. You each turn back, barely able to see the fields you passed through earlier in the day. Without clear sight of the sky, it's difficult to judge the time, though you are certain that it's growing early in the evening by now. With a sudden sense of urgency, you each look at each other and continue forward into the brambles. After traveling a while further, you come to a fork in the road. Which direction do you take?
To the right.
We said it was to the right. Yeah.
Okay. The road gradually disappears and is replaced by a twisted, muddy path through the trees. Deep ruts in the earth are evidence of comings and goings of wagons. The canopy of mist and branches suddenly give way to black clouds boiling far above. There is a clearing here, next to a river that widens to form a small lake several hundred feet across. 5 colorful round tents, each 10 feet in diameter, are pitched outside the ring of 4 barrel-topped wagons. A much larger tent stands near the shore of the lake, its sagging form lit from within. Near this tent, 8 unbridled horses drink from the river. The mournful strains of an accordion clash with singing of several brightly clad figures around a bonfire. A footpath continues beyond this encampment, meandering north between the river and the forest edge. Okay, and this is going to be some portions of, fun for me. Give me just a second here. I gotta Make sure I have this open because, as you know, not all of you speak Barovian. Kaylee, were you able to get into? Huh. Give me a second.
We're waiting on you to add us.
Okay, fetch all players. There you go. We're getting ready to switch boards again. But okie dokie. Alright. An old man approaches. His clothes are rather extravagant, wearing several hues of blue and purple. The vibrant nature of his clothing nearly detracts from the lines worn to his face. His expression is rather flat but welcoming nevertheless. He greets you all with an uninteresting gesture. Buongiorno, Giorgio, as he eyes the group. He offers Ismark a small nod and gasps lightly when he sees Irina. Vel call, Ismark. Domna. He would offer a small bow. Oh, give me a second. Oh, why didn't it copy it? Give me a second. No. Give me just a second more. Sending translations. There you go. He would turn and offer a small formal bow to Irina as he spoke the word Domna. As he erected his posture, he speaks to Ismark again. Herdal Strahd foreigner dom? And I don't expect you to respond to me in whatever fake Russian language this is. But he is definitely speaking to you, Ismark.
Elion smiles at him. A friendly smile.
Also, I sent those translations to Kaylee's Discord.
Okay. Hola, Sistitola.
What did you say?
Gibberish. We kind of nod. Yes, we are hopefully passing through, and we hope that we might be welcome. And I will offer him one of the bottles of wine.
He graciously accepts, and he studies the bottle for a moment. And he, almost puzzled looking. Servant Strahd and Strahd? Da?
Sorry?
Yeah.
He kind of...
No.
9.
New in you. There you go. And he just nods. Look, he's like, da. This seems silly. He turns to Irina and he says, Damna sobor shlenchna borska shalets. And he places his hands together with a wide smile. Verushatzi and plata by the father. Give me a second.
I need to study up on my Russian.
I don't speak Russian, you're good. He then turns his attention back to Ismark. Ismark, verstaje damna Ivan. Vostra spraja don't welcome.
I'm not gonna try to say, but I'm just open.
The man looks over the party eerily. He feigns some excitement as it seems he's waiting for Ismark's answer.
Da. We will meet her.
I just nod my head and Barovian say thank you.
Okay. Matt, you are taken away from the party. They take only you.
I'm gonna turn to the rest of the group and just let them know, guys, it's okay. Everything is fine. It's very peaceful. They took the wine. No problem.
Oh.
We are welcome.
I want to flash back to like 10 minutes before we got here, and I was like, all right, nobody get yourself separated. Make sure you and I walk off by myself.
Yeah. I'm just going to send you the brief gist of my notes as to what it is they're going to discuss, but currently you're away from the party. The old man leads them to a large bonfire at the middle of the encampment. The Vistani all watch you approach and seem to disappear nonchalantly like the inconspicuous nature of cockroaches. While a few stand off to the side of their tents with their families, for the most part you find yourselves alone by the fire, for the first time in days where you don't feel in any immediate danger. And here is where we all get to sit and talk about our past and shit. So you're here, no one's around, and you are currently not under threat of any sort of danger for arguably the first time in about 4 days.
Are we sitting around like a fire on like just the ground, or they got?
Yeah. Give me a second. I'm getting ready to load it up. I just,
Cool.
yeah. There's a map for this that I'll pull everybody to. Real quick. I think it's yeah. Here it is. Okay. And then we'll just place everybody's tokens here. Let me. And Ismark currently isn't here. Okay. I love the music, but I gotta like turn that shit down a little bit because it's hella distracting.
Yeah, it's a little too hard for the moment.
Yeah.
It's pretty dope.
You gotta make a little bit more whenever they're out and about.
Yeah.
Why'd you put me in the fire, DM? You trying to tell me something?
Just everybody else, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're gonna burn you alive, dude.
Dude,
All right.
I create the fires, brother. You better watch where you're stepping.
This guy's not here.
You're right, dude. You are gonna be created into a fire.
All right, so you guys have settled. You've traveled pretty good ways today. Probably, I'd say, a couple miles for sure. And like I said, the first time in a long while, there's maybe not necessarily a complete air of relaxation around this fire. But it's nice to know that if it's attacked by werewolves, that you may or may not be the first to die. So with that, we open up with who gets to go first when speaking to the class.
Sorry, are we like rolling for it or?
No, it's whoever wants to go first. You're finally able to kind of sit down and take a breather. It's time to learn about each other.
Trevok, you can summon something. I do not know what it is, but you definitely have some qualities that I'm most curious about. How did you come to be able to summon someone who looks so much like you?
That'd be a good question. So Trevok digs into his bag and he pulls out his cursed item. That's the book that tells his entire life story up until this point. And he
I
flips back.
memorize all of it. No, I'm just kidding.
He thumbs through it, going back a few pages to the part where we were inside the manor, and points to the page, and he says, like, "Oi, I knew I had. Well, I guess let me put it this way: like, I knew that there were people from my clan that had the power to bring forth an extra." What's the word I'm looking for? Damn it. Companion, yes. To aid us whenever whenever we need them. What I was not expecting was for it to be me. How should I describe him? What I wasn't expecting was for him to be my old lad, Bairn, and then snaps the book shut. And puts it back in his pouch, and just kind of looks at the group, and then looks at the fire, and he was like, "Yeah, Baron. He and I go way back. We were lads together when since I was gonna make this joke since we hatched."
So are you like teleporting him here temporarily, or how does that work?
That's the thing. I don't know. It's not supposed to be him. He's
Who would it
dead.
be? Oh, necromancy.
My condolences, friend.
Like it's supposed to just be from the other clansmen that had this power. Just God damn it, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a ethereal type formation that just fights along with us, that takes on our own form. This though not be my form. Clearly, this echo looks nothing like me. He looks just like Baron.
I need to get perception checks from everybody. Y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
5. I got a 5.
21.
Okay.
Oh, they want.
30-20.
Nice.
I got a 19 and Kaylee got a dirty 20.
Nice.
Oh, did you do one from Trevok? Sorry.
Nope. Sure don't. Well, I mean, yeah, I get. Well, no, because it'd be behind you.
Oh, what?
You guys notice the shadow cast from the fire on Trevok against the wagon behind him doesn't match his posture.
Interesting.
And it seems to mimic his movements, but there is a slight delay.
It's his stature, though? Like, is it the same height?
Yes.
I'll gesture toward it since we're talking to one another. Do you have control?
So, not knowing what you're referring to, kind of a puzzled look.
Oh, yeah, she gestured for you to look at it.
Yeah, Trevok turns around to look, and Ian, if I may be allowed a little bit of creative freedom,
Just take the reins, brother.
The shadow's head does not turn.
Okay.
So Trevok turns, but the shadow that's cast on the caravan or whatever, its head does not turn. And he's like, I don't know, you guys can see that? Like, that thing, okay.
Yes.
Listen.
We have fought with it many times.
I thought I was just seeing things. Let me tell you this.
It has helped us out in battle. I've used him.
So you see. So hopefully you believe me when I tell you. earlier before we went to, before we rested, went out to gather wood for the fire. Thought I heard something, heard some voices. Wasn't very comfortable. Little bit creepy.
Okay.
I look around. There's no one around. It's just me and my sticks. And when I'm picking one up, my shadow wasn't even attached to my body. It was like standing by itself. I shook my head and blinked a few times, and it was back to normal. But something be off with that shadow, lads.
But this is not your friend Ban that you summoned, no?
So Trevor kind of shrugs, and he's like, I don't know. I haven't really shared that much with you guys about Ben. It's not a very pleasant story, I'm afraid, lads.
I understand. I guess it's curious that before he was more animated, he was able to, wield a blade or a hammer and go against foes, and I was able to strike things with an opening because he's flanking them or distracting them. But now you act as if he's not as much a part of you as you thought.
Well, that's the thing. Like, Baron was the best of us. Like back when we were lads, he was always helping me, and when we were playing, and when we both decided to join the army, or the clan's army, he was the one that was the not exactly the hero of the camp or anything, but he was certainly one of the frontline fighters. I was just a cook.
Perhaps you have inherited some of his being with him joining you. You seem to be pretty well in battle.
I'd be nothing compared to Baron. I only have what he left me with. But that was taken when we all got here, when I woke in and they had none of my belongings.
That is the same for all of us, it seems.
Indeed.
Trevor kind of turns around and kind of peeks at his shadow again, but then kind of goes back looking at the fire, like just real uneasy, like I don't know what is going on there.
Do you have conversations with him? Does he speak back to you?
Hey,
Yeah, he kind of does. And hey, Ian, while I'm narrating this, if you want to edit my character sheet again, it switched back again. Not that it matters, but it did. Sorry, what was the question that you asked?
If y'all hold conversations.
Oh, we've had
if he speaks to you.
conversations. Ever since I first brought him forward, ever since I brought him forth, ever so often I hear his words in my head.
Just in your head, then. So we could not hear him speak.
You guys haven't heard anything other than what he'd been saying out loud, right?
No, I do not believe so.
So, Trevok. Sorry, what? Go ahead.
Because I don't actually know this. Do the rest of the party members hear Baron's voice, or is it just Trevok that hears him because it's his echo?
When the echo is manifested, you've heard him, but any other time, no, you've not.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to double check that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Also, Tyler sent you a message.
Oh, snap.
So you said that we hear him when?
When he's manifested, like when he's out and active.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys not just hear him laugh? Like thumbing behind him.
I'm afraid not. That might be your imagination.
That's what I've been saying.
I mean, trauma affects us all in different ways. You manifest a shadow that I don't know. You think talks to you, possibly.
I mean, I've been seeing a lot of things in my years, lads. I've been other soldiers from me clan that could cast these apparitions, or not apparitions, these ethereal forms to help them in battle. None of them, nothing like this though. So at least you can
Different.
see, and not be crazy.
What is different between theirs and yours, except that yours is a dead friend and theirs is someone that could do this on their own? I mean, you have yours, right? They have theirs. This is yours. But you say that yours is not the same just because it is a friend of yours?
Well, I could never do it. I could never do it till I came here.
Hmm.
What do you mean she? Who do you keep saying? Who is she? Like talking to something behind him.
Clearly. What does he say?
All right, listen. Settle down now. Okay. Back when we was just a wee dwarf, Baron and I were best friends, inseparable. We decided to join together. And then he kind of hesitates for a second, and you can see him start to tear up a little bit. It's my fault he's dead. It's all my fault. I'm just a cook. I'm not supposed to be on guard duty. Whose bright idea was it to make the cook stand guard duty? But I fell asleep, and while I was asleep, the enemy got closer, and every single one of my clansmen paid the price, including my best friend. The last thing he told me was to carry on and to fight the way that he fought and stand for the things that he stood for. So I took his hammer and I made that oath. But I didn't have any powers. I was just a cook. I come to this place, all my stuff gets stolen. I eat some weird, what were those things called? We ate blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna call them croissants.
Was it
the human flesh?
The human flesh, yes, the thigh that you ate.
Oh, way before that. We show up here. We show up here. All the stuff's gone. I don't know any single one of you lads.
I'm a lass, I believe.
What? You're a what? You all be looking the same. You all be looking the same, anyways.
Looks like your friend. Do you think your shadow looks like your friend because of your guilt? You think that you're manifesting the shadow to look like him to support your grief?
It's a good question. It could very well be. Like I said, I don't know. This is new to me. I couldn't do it till I came here. Once I came here, only once I came here did I actually start fighting. They could be doing
to bring out unique and mysterious talents sometimes. And based off of what you've just told me, I think you're going to fit in Barovia just fine.
You mean I brought something with me?
Or the mist, you've always had it, and the mist magnified it and brought it to life.
That might make some sense. I mean, y'all be hearing what he be saying when we fight, and he's what's the word I'm looking for? He waves a hand behind him as if like shushing someone who's not speaking behind him.
When he shushes him, this shadow, it stands up and you see it turn and get thinner, and then it like turns and faces the other way, and sits back down.
Do the rest of us kind of? Actually, I don't know if I'm back yet or not.
Yeah, you're back.
Okay. Do the rest of us notice, like, when he's kind of talking to it, like, it's reacting? I guess it is if it turned away from him.
Yes, you
Like,
notice.
Almost see it speaking to him as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, you wouldn't notice it speaking to him, but his reaction, like, and then, yeah, and then whenever he shushed it, it like stood up and just turned around, like in a huff.
Yeah.
Never in this land have I seen something like this.
Well, he ain't be happy. He blames me for the death, and he blames me for his death, and I have nightmares of him. I have nightmares with him in him. I had one in the caravan a few days back.
Well, perhaps you should remind him that you live by his values and that his values should not be one of scorn against you.
Why does he blame you?
Can he?
I
Can
can
he
certainly
act
see
separate
why he
from your
did.
own will?
So Trevok is just like kind of shaking his head a bit at this point, like almost as if there's two conversations going on, and Trevok is having a hard time sticking to either one of them.
Well, one thing that I can say, Trevok, is that even a simple cook may need to defend their home from an intruder. And if you had, say, a frying pan and hit someone upside the head, are you not a warrior in that moment? So it is very possible that you could become a warrior, become someone like your friend Bairn.
I just know I'd never leave anyone behind ever again. Never let it be my fault, and protect everyone I can.
Except that guy that fell in a hole.
Hey, he said his fault. That wasn't. All right, we're getting down the technical nitty gritty.
I'm just thinking. Technicality.
Right back.
Well, for what it's worth, Trevok, I'm glad that you're at our side, and I'm glad that your shadow seems to be on our side as well.
Why am I the one spilling my guts here? Like, who are you people?
I mean, you're not wrong to question that. It was just you seem to have the most unique ability about you.
Well, maybe it's only fit about Kithron. What's your story? How did you end up here?
I suppose that I ended up here much like you. Walked through a mist and awoken at a Vistani camp. But prior to that, I was, I guess you could call it a bounty hunter, mercenary, something of that sort. I have a surprising amount of talent, I would say, whenever it comes to binding others or finding someone. Perhaps making you believe that I am someone entirely different, though, of course, with everything being taken from us, and I'll whisper, by the Vistani that we sit with now, some of those abilities are degraded, we'll say. But I've lived for a long time, both traveling the Shadowfell where I'm from and the material plane where I assume most of you are from. And I would say beyond that, there's not much that would set me apart from just a normal elf outside of my own lineage of being a Shadar-kai.
Being a what?
Yeah, that's interesting.
There are many of us, but effectively I just come from a different plane than a human or an elf or a dwarf. But
What is
the
it
plane
like
that I
there?
come from, what is it like?
Is the air the same? The grass the same?
I would not say that there is much grass at all, but where there is grass, it is very shadowed. Not dead, so to speak, but gray and mute. There's not much color where I come from. As far as the air, I do not know. I breathe the same here as I breathe there. I assume that you could traverse with me at some point and we could end up there and y'all would be breathing fine. Though, where I come from, there was a very big trade hub. There was actually an army that protected the borders that had portals to the plane. And I stood guard many nights, making sure that there were not any ne'er-do-wells, you could say, that would come through the portals to take information that we had or try to exploit the portals to move armies through from one portion of the land to the other.
So let me get this straight. You be talking about walking in portals and different planes, and I'm the weird one.
Well, yes, you literally have a shadow that does not mind your body.
Yeah,
To
but
be
I
fair,
keep my feet on the ground.
there's books written about what she speaks of. Yours just fucking weird.
Yes, listen to the scholar. I'm sure he's read many books.
I've read a book. A book? The Book of
I
Hell.
only had journals.
Do you miss where you're from, Valkithra? You ever longed
Oh,
for?
I left there a long time ago, actually. I mean, I think there are some times that I wish to know what was going on. You definitely see your fair share of a multitude of races and peoples. I mean, you have devils that walk amongst humans, that walk amongst infernals. It's an interesting place. It's very neutral in a lot of ways.
People happy there.
I think it depends on what you call happiness. I think there are many people that are happy.
I understand.
I think that you would think maybe the best way to describe it, I would say, is probably that we are our own body of ne'er-do-wells, but we protect our borders, even though we may have our own thieves that work for us. We may have our own spies that work for us, but in the grand scheme, people are making money, traveling about, bringing artifacts of power, things of that nature, as being a fairly sizable trade hub is where one of these portals was located. Probably not unlike your own cities that have, I guess the best word would be corruption. People who are not quite there to do everything to the bidding of the people, but for themselves.
Yes, there's many where Thand and I are from. Helmshold is riddled with corruption, from the politicians to the church. Fathers and bishops having sex with whores in linen closets. It's a defiled place of holiness for sure. But I miss it.
Did you partake?
Never. I'm a man of God, a man of Helm.
Well,
I'll
not
never do
they.
anything to defile my status within him.
But you just spoke of some of the clergy that did. Do you not follow them, or just you lose respect once you find out?
Correct, I report them to the appropriate ministries and watch the evilness partake. There's many powers outside of Helm, I understand this. It's plain to see
Of
that the
course.
other gods don't have a cool in all things matter, material or not.
That'd be a good question, lad. How does one end up being in a church like that?
Well, Ben and I were rather dropped off there. We never met our parents, we were orphans, and we never had much touch with any other family outside of the church itself. I reckon you're just born into it.
You never thought to live?
Why would I? It's a place of sanctuary. I was a scholar and studying, learning ancient materials and rituals to
in the place, but were you commanded to do these things?
I suppose, but I found much joy in them. It's Helm's light that guided me to him, and it's the reason I continue to do what I do now. He's the reason I'm able to help you all as I am now. A place so dark and vile, he still shines through.
I do agree. You do bring the light to us all.
I like your style, lad.
Elyon just kind of stares off into the fire.
Tyler, you're getting more messages.
Oh, I am?
Yeah.
Oh,
And what's of your brother
And
Sam?
I
He
understand
seems,
yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, what? I think, yeah. I think we'd be asking the same question, lass. Sorry.
Oh, he is more broad-shouldered, and I do not take him much for a reader, but I'm curious. You said that y'all were both orphans, but were y'all split apart at some point? Did y'all have two different lives?
How you know you even be brothers? You just could be two strangers dropped off at the same time.
We've been together since we were born. The orphanage leaves siblings together. Dan is much bigger than I. And y'all do notice, like, there's quite a large height stature from Dan to Elyon. Elyon's way frail. He looks like a little clergy nerd, you know, and Dan is very much so the big gate guard Chad.
Brother.
So he's a little goofy, a little cross-eyed, looks in a lot of silvery, reflective things and gets lost in them.
You guys know Doofy from
Oh god, the Scream parody.
Yeah, scary movie.
Scary movie.
Do you
think
do?
that, but yeah, like just like 6'4" fucking gate man
Perry
Chad.
Wimple.
Yeah.
He's our little Periwimple.
Sometimes there must be more than blood between siblings. Blood is the least important part, I think.
Right.
I do agree.
Y'all do notice, like, Dan and Elyon do, like, although their height and stature are very different, like, they do have very similar appearances. Their noses are the same, they're half-elves, so, like, you can both tell that they're half-elves. They have rather much more human-like appearances, and it's very much so just their ears that give them away.
Tyler, you're getting more messages.
Dick. All right.
You need a light switch for your shadow.
Okay, yeah. I'll just start doing that. In the game, whenever I send you something, I'll just...
There you go. All right.
Yeah, I think your
All
light's
right.
talking to you.
But no, my brother was just... The orphanage seeks to use you at your best skills. He's big and strong. I'm, well, rather small. I took a liking to studying and adventuring into the paths of Helm's Light and healing, and he's big. He took a liking to making sure we had bread on our meal plates for the dinner, and that others were protected.
Well, me gut says that you'd be the kind to keep a dagger out of me back. But Baron, he says you all be liars. And then he
What
points
regard?
he points to the two natives. Sorry, Burgermeister and
Oh, Irina and Ishmar?
Irina and Ishmark. Yeah, sorry. So Trevok points to Irina and Bismarck and is like, he says you two be liars too.
Who says we be liars?
Yeah, what regard
Shadow?
are we lying?
What does your shadow accuse us of lying?
Well, he
You did
seems to.
accuse like the entire party, right? Sorry, I didn't want to mean to cut you off, but like it was like
Yeah.
you pointed like to everybody. Like he says you all are lying.
Well, it does. He seems to think that you'll be the reason why we all got robbed, and that you're setting us up to do it again.
You were not even there when you were robbed.
Yeah, nah, neither were we. I didn't even know you until we found each other in the woods. Well, the church, rather, actually.
You chose to go into the mist. Those were the consequences, not us. You did not.
As I recall, I equipped you from my own home.
Oh my God! All right, I don't know what to do, Ian. I kind of want to be like, arguing with my shadow at this point. Be like, why don't I just bring you out? Why don't I just bring you out? You can come out here. You can say this all yourself to everybody that's here. Speak your own words. And with that, can I have Trevok just summon Baron and like use my echo? And can you just
Yeah, so
bring
you
this motherfucker out?
whenever you start talking about bringing him out, he's like shaking his head no in the fire. But you end up bringing him forth anyways. I'm looking for the other token that we used. There was another. It was, that's too big. Did I just use? What was the? Oh, I used your old one. That's right.
Yeah, because I had one from Hero Forge.
Yeah,
And
which is the one that you're using
for Baron.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Give me a second. I'm struggling.
Look, he was having fun just sitting back talking shit in your ear, okay?
There he is.
All right. Well, that's your original. This is your original one. This is
technically that's me. And then what's
like, hi, laddie. You don't remember when he told her his sister couldn't read?
Who couldn't read?
Her. And he points a shadowy finger over to Irina.
That did happen, but
Who told you
Why did
that
she
I
have any
couldn't
reason?
read?
It was technically this happened before y'all came on board, and it was still that was
Yeah,
kind of protecting
Ian
the
kind of sent
identities.
us the gist of it. Ismark told you
Yeah,
that.
out of character. No, we know what's up. Anyway.
Yeah, we kind of know.
sweet.
Oh, gotcha.
Well, technically he did. Oh yeah, I'm which I did debunk by having you decode my message, he says rather proudly.
Well, to be fair, he's not technically wrong. Dad secretly would teach me um, about reading and writing, but he's not wrong in the fact that girls are not supposed to, that it is frowned upon to, it's a waste of time to teach them.
Ah,
At the
So we
same
don't
time, we did not know
broadcast.
each other,
so it
and
was
so
for
it was
your
a very quick
protection.
introduction. That's right.
I'll just be saying, lads, that it's a little bit different that you can kind of read versus you can't read at all.
Have you ever
Uh,
stood persecution from a radical government?
Bjorn,
But didn't my brother just tell you about, being too personal and I telling stuff like that when we don't know you could, uh, you know, put me in danger? If that makes sense.
You will have to forgive me. You are newcomers here, and I try to keep my sister out of the spotlight, if you will.
I understand. You must choose your words wisely in this corruption.
It is my duty to protect her, and I did not wish to draw any more attention to her.
Unfortunately, he is not just saying that about you too. He's saying that about all of us. So what else have we lied about?
Yeah, make your claims, short man.
now. Your knife is calm down. I was speaking specifically of these two. And he points to Ismark and Irina with fingers.
The fuck did you call me? I'm a half knife here.
You all look the same.
I'll speak for yourself, short bearded man.
This short-bearded man has been saving your arse this whole time.
Oh, it says you're spitting that to me? The one that's been healing your arses the whole time?
He's got you there, lad.
I do just be a spectral being. He is a valiant fighter, and maybe more than yourself, but by golly, he can't just call us liars.
I didn't be calling you liars. I'd be calling you knife ears. I'd be calling them liars.
Well, now, Trevok, I question if he really did have these values, if this is how he is in front of everybody.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm telling you, he looks just like Ben. He knows everything.
I am Beard Lady.
He thinks he's Ben.
But he's striking so much friction amongst us.
Just calling the knives like I see them,
You
lassie.
see everything, Ben?
I see most things that this lad be seeing. Stuck to his toe and all.
You see while he sleeps? Do you sleep then as well?
I'm not really sure. I hadn't really thought about it. Sometimes he'd be dreaming and I'd be seeing that, and then other times I'm awake while he's asleep. I think he's just faking asleep, and then there's other times where, I just kind of open my eyes and it's a different time outside. It'd be really strange, lad. I must attest. This be my first time as an apparition for someone else.
I have like an existential crisis here.
Yeah, with that, he kind of like starts looking at his hand, and he starts like pushing it to his face, like far and away really quick, like he's waving at his hand to see if he'll still flinch. And he just keeps getting closer and closer and closer to his nose, and then finally like he slaps himself and then just disappears. And he goes back to I guess at this point Trevok regains his shadow.
I think you disappeared the wrong one, but yeah.
100% did.
Yep.
All right. Zima, you got anything else?
You know what? Yes. So if you guys are you guys okay with me rolling with some more?
Do that shit, man.
All right.
Yeah.
There be something else I can't quite figure out. Maybe you guys can help me here. What?
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me pull up her name because I can't remember it because I'm an idiot.
You heard it here, folks.
Yep. Anastasia. I'll be getting some weird vibes from that lady.
Anastasia.
Yeah.
I got weird vibes as well.
Well, what do you think about this? And he rummages around in his bag and he pulls out a small, what is it? A small container?
Yeah, it's like almost like a wooden envelope, so to speak, like a cardboard envelope.
That's right. So like a thick stock,
Yes.
like kind of cardboard-ish envelope. And I unfold it and I begin reading. And I say, okay. So I begin reading. And I quote, I adore you more by the day. Let's hope chivalry suits you just as well. And then he like turns it and shows everyone like that's what it says. And then
The shiver?
he also pulls out, in addition to the letter, what appears to be a elbow-length red glove. Clearly, as he's holding it up, you can tell that it belongs. Clearly, it's a woman's garment, and Trevok just says, I think this belonged to her and she gave it to me as a gift along with this letter. It got a real weird smell to it. But be careful. Last time I took a sniff, I ended up in a field of daisies. It was actually pretty nice.
And you think
then-
I am the weird one?
Then
What?
you take it. Take a look. Hold on. You. And he points to the paladin?
Dan?
Yes.
Yeah.
Shit. We're good.
Can you tell me anything weird about this piece of cloth? You be getting any weird vibes from it? And he kind of holds it towards Dan.
I could hit it with.
Good.
Give me a second. Let me find the description here.
You even should.
Divine Sense. I could
Mm-hmm.
see what's
Do you mind
popping.
if I look at the letter that you just read to us?
Sure. So Trevok passes it around, passes the letter, I guess, to his right, so it can make its way to Bismarck to Valkithra, Valkithra to Irina.
Valkithra won't take it. He won't touch
Where
it
did
at all.
you say
Gonna
that you
break the
got?
chain, dude.
I am, yeah.
Yeah, where did you get him?
Where did you say you got this letter from?
You got this from Anastasia?
In the graveyard, whenever you were burying your father, whenever Strahd and Irina had a conversation. Anastasia was there prior and walked up to Trevok and called him out whenever we barely even knew each other at all.
Swear, I don't know the lass.
It is so strange. It is Anastasia recognizes you, Rahaden recognizes you.
And yet you call us the liars.
Very interesting.
I ain't be lying, lads. Like giving you a very sincere look, like I ain't be lying, lads.
Do you believe, Ben, your shadow, that he calls us liars, but clearly there was motive for the lying and the deception to happen because it was for a good purpose.
Listen. Ben just cleared that up. Don't make him start going off in my head again. He
Oh, but
wasn't calling
I'm
you
just
liars.
saying-
He
I'm
was
just
calling
saying-
them liars. He
I'm
was
just saying
calling you
that
naffies.
I'm just saying that you made it sound like you were in agreement with him. You
So-
didn't try to come to their
Elion does
defense at
smirk
all.
at all of this.
As just so you guys know, so as you pass the glove around, it says the glove smells bewitching. It's difficult for you to identify exactly what the scent is as you gather different possible scents with each sniff. The scent never changes, but notes are changed like an arpeggio, from vanilla to lilac, wildflower to the scent of soft skin.
When it reaches Elion, I wanna put it on.
Okay.
Strahd stopped me. He's like very clearly about to put this glove on. And he's very intrigued by it.
Like, I'll be warning you, lad. All I did was take a sniff, and I ended up in a dream world of lovely flowers.
So yeah, he's about to like slide it on. He looks up at you. You say that. Slides it on. Does anything happen?
Nope.
Slides it off.
Well, it looks good.
Yeah.
He's gonna be using that later tonight.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's a nice glove. He hands it back.
Did she give you this? Trevok?
Oh, what? Sorry?
Did she give you those things?
Yeah, I'm trying to check my notes when I got it. When did I get it?
It came with the note. Yeah, like right after. Like you just got it.
Rahaden?
Yeah.
I just got it. Yeah.
Oh,
Very interesting. I do not know if we should keep such trinkets. I hate to be...
I think it'd be the same one
Paranoid.
she'd be wearing at the funeral.
Well, I hate to be paranoid about it, but I feel like every time we come across some of these people in Strahd's company, they know way too much about us. And it could be little trinkets like this is how they're spying on us.
I agree. It could be a spying device.
But
I
it
cannot
takes you
yet
to such a
determine if
wonderful
it's-
place. How could that be a bad thing in a place like this?
Maybe it's a place she wants you to be. Maybe now she can make you appear there anytime she wishes. Or knock you out there in the middle of battle. Who knows?
Or maybe that's the smell of death. And what awaits for me on the other side is a lovely paradise.
It's an interesting way of thinking. I'm not sure about your dwarven culture, but I guess there is something in honorable dying and war and things of that nature.
So
I feel like you can trust her.
you guys hear the nearing footsteps of someone who's obviously in a... It sounds like he's in a hurry, though, as it draws all of your eyes together as a strange man strutting forward towards you. And as he approaches the fire, you recognize that it's Barudramir, but he's dressed incredibly different. Not only is he dressed incredibly different, but his hair is quite different. And it mimics his whole attire mimics Caspian. And he looks around all of you with his arms out and he's like, hello, my friends. Where is the one with the skin like a vanilla bean? Is he not here?
So Trevok would collect his glove and letter back and put it back in his bag, and
Okay.
then clutch his bag again, like, you ain't be taking my stuff again.
Oh, Barudramir no take stuff. That was Eastville and Rupel. They're no here. You are safe. But where is
Good.
friend? Where is friend? He has skin like a vanilla bean. You know who I talk about. The strange man with sharp hair. He stepped behind a caravan, and then he runs across behind this caravan back over here. And he's like, and then he'll do this. And then he like crawls underneath of it and hurries up and like jumps up and like he crawls out underneath behind the bush and he jumps up with his arms out and he's like, he do like this. What are his friend?
We are not lost on who you speak of, but he is no longer with us.
He is no longer with you. Did he leave? He not want to come see Barudramir?
You would know better if he left, I'm sure.
I don't know what you mean.
Seeing as to how you're the one that ferries people to and from the mist.
Oh, I mean, sometimes we all go. The Vistani leave,
As if the Vestani does not share who their marks are, I'm sure.
What do you mean, Mjörk?
So you think somebody could leave without y'all knowing if y'all are the ones that bring them to and from?
It is not Barudramir who keep you here. Barudramir give you safe passage. What do you mean? There is my caravan over there. This is where Barudramir stay.
Your caravan, why do you come back?
He's nice here,
You
Because
think
they
this
are
is-
Little cold.
Why you change your look?
I wanted to impress my new friend. You know who I speak. He have a skin like a vanilla bean.
His name is Caspian. I do not like
Nah.
the way you pronounce vanilla bean. It sounds deranged.
His name was Caspian.
Words? What do you mean, the words?
Your lands here have claimed another.
What do you mean by claimed another? And by this, like, he starts, like, looking between you all desperately. Like a widow being greeted at the door by officers in the military. What do you mean?
You act
What's...
so surprised in the face of death in lands that kill so many.
You mean to tell me, he is not here? Where he go?
He's
The land
dead.
fucking ate him.
The land ate him? And he, like,
It opened up.
lifts up his
an
left
abyss.
boot and kind of, like, looks down at the ground for a second and kind of swirls it around, stamps down at the ground.
Down in that wretched fucking house.
Oh, he know you go in house. Nah. And friend no make it out of house?
We all made it out of the house. It is just that the house took one more before we could get further away, you could say.
That no make a sense. So he make out of house, but he no here.
The land
is true.
fucking opened up into an abyss and ate him. What part of that didn't you understand?
There was a land mouth?
Yes.
A land mouth. And with that, he just kind of... He sits on the ground for a second, just starts crying, like immediately. Like he's immediately sobbing.
Perhaps Caspian knew this man. I did not get the impression he knew anything that was going on here.
No. He come here like you. I just like men. He was very neat, very nice.
Like the vanilla beans.
He like a vanilla bean. His hair was fashionable. I like. He teach me how to be good with ladies. And then he just starts crying again, and he gets up and just walks off into the darkness. And that is where we will wrap for this evening.
All right.
Yeah, buddy. A little slow on the combat, but we got some intrigue now amongst the party members. It's gonna be good.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed that.
Good stuffs. Over the next 2 weeks, I've got to meet with all of you. And it's individual. There's no group RP sessions on this. I'm gonna be hella busy week after next. So I'm gonna be trying to like cram everybody in over the next few days. I'll reach out to you guys individually and we'll go from there on as far as scheduling goes. I don't want to try and like iron that all out now. Just know that I'll be in touch.
Okay.
So maybe like Saturday night or Sunday. I won't have my kids through most of the weekend, but I'm not sure if I'm going to help my wife work at her shop or not. So I might be busy. If I'm not working with her during the day Saturday, I'm going to try and knock out like 1 or 2. But we'll go from there. But as it stands right now, this is where we pause and take our break. Obviously, the Stani would come out. Somebody different would come out and offer you all like blankets and usher you to a small tent to sleep in. It would be empty, save for a few pillows. Assuming that you would all sleep in it. If not, you guys can choose to sleep outside.
I will
Your
sleep
call.
in the most comfortable position possible.
As well,
Excellent. All right. Well, that concludes it. That actually went longer than I anticipated, but it was good. I liked it.
Well, we
that
have a
was
lot to unravel there.
Oh yeah, there's
fun.
that was the thing, man. There's so much going on behind the scenes with all of you individually that like it's gonna kind of start raising some questions when you all start talking to each other about it. So that was
Yeah, we
completely the
definitely moved
purpose.
The stake burning from me to Trayvog, because Trayvog.
All right, so I just now that we're kind of OOC, the way that I portray his voice, I have to sound stressed out in order to even make the voice. But it's not like Trayvok was acting like he wasn't exactly as outrageous, I guess you can say, as my portrayal of his voice made it sound.
Yeah.
Like he was trying to sound reasonable when he was saying like y'all see what I'm talking about,
or something.
like y'all see what I'm talking about. That shadow is clearly not following me, right? It's got its own thing going on. You guys see it for yourself. I'm not crazy. With that being said,
No, you
like,
led into it fine, man. I picked up on a lot of that.
and then I was being super truthful the whole time. Like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. I don't know why Baron is here. I don't know why Anastasia has a crush on me. I don't know what is all this.
That one I don't believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Well,
was I hope that was interpreted as being sincere and not just being a crazy
She-
bad
No,
man.
I liked it.
She
dude.
gave
You did
you-
great.
She gave you that red glove because you left stains on it. That's all I'm saying.
so
It was not crusty when I handed it over. All right?
I
how
didn't touch it. I didn't touch it.
how in tune would Ismark and Irina be with like the full courtship and like royalty and everything? I would assume they'd be relatively familiar.
I mean, if we're nobility,
Yeah.
at least in the town of Barovia, I would imagine as much as anybody in that
At
town.
least gossip would have got.
Yeah, so you've rubbed elbows with like some higher people before, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
if there's any elbows to rub, then yeah.
So you both would recognize that this was a sign of chivalry, as it's been known for knights to wear some form of garment or color of the lady in which they fight for.
You're wearing her favor, right?
Essentially, yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's gonna get fun.
Yeah, there's some development to happen there. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good
I
one.
can't see anything that could go wrong with that. You should 100% wear that.
I mean, says the dude who's brother to the lady who's been getting stalked by the big bad evil guy the entire time.
Just think about that field of flowers, man.
Yeah.
Just think about the flowers.
All right. Well, that's all I have